And we're back with more of our interview with House Speaker Paul Ryan, who hosted a conversation about poverty with Republican presidential candidates yesterday. Let me ask you a philosophical question. Hubert Humphrey, a Democrat, of course, used to say, the strength of the American economy is best judged by the weakness of any section or any person or any part. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I'm not a big Hubert Humphrey fan, but I do. I think, look, let me give you another Democrat, Jack Kennedy. A rising tide lifts all boats. I think that's true, but with poverty, we are finding deep and persistent chronic poverty. We're over 50 years in the war on poverty. We've had 80 programs created since then at the federal level, spending trillions of dollars, yet we basically have a stalemate on our hands. We have a safety net that tries to catch people from falling into poverty, but we don't have one that helps get people out of poverty. We're actually treating the symptoms of poverty and perpetuating poverty. So we need to break that cycle, and we need to go at the root causes of poverty and measure success not based on input and efforts and money and programs, but on outcomes and results. Are we getting people out of poverty?
Is that what you mean by reintegrating the poor? That was something you said today.
Look, not to get into statistics, but our labor force participation rates are pretty awful. We haven't seen these since like the Carter years. What that means is able-bodied adults aren't working or aren't looking for work. They're marginalized. They're on the sidelines. We've got to get them back into the economy for two reasons. They share their talents with us, the rest of society, so we benefit from them sharing their talents, and they get their lives back together. That kind of injection of human creativity, of work, of energy, that helps everybody. That helps the economy. That lowers the crime rate. That lowers the drug rate. That helps get economy and the society going. And yeah, that's what we should be pushing for.
You want folks to work, more work requirements for benefits. What progressives will say is a lot of the poor have jobs. And so what's required is things to help them keep the jobs. So fair work schedule, paid sick leave, family and medical leave to kind of keep them in the jobs so that they can keep those jobs
I don't
going.
want to keep people in dead-end jobs. I don't want to keep people in jobs that keep them in poverty. I want people to be able to get the skills they need to get better jobs. I want people to have the ability to get on the escalator of upward mobility, which is slowing down in America. So we got to get them the skills they need. And that's not just a job. That might be many different kinds of problems that people are experiencing. But if we think all the wisdom's in Washington, if we're telling our fellow citizens, pay your taxes, government's going to fix poverty, Washington's got a bureaucracy that will take care of this, that's not going to work. That's what we've been doing for 50 years. But if we say each and every one of us in America needs to get involved so that we can, in our communities, help a person, and if we can remove those barriers that are making it harder for people to rise and get an economic growth that is growing the economy everywhere, then we can reignite the enthusiasm for the American idea, the American dream, reconnect people to it. Instead of treating the symptoms of poverty so people can tolerate it more, let's get them out of poverty. And so I think what the left ends up doing is they speak to people as if they're stuck in their current station in life, and government's here to help them cope with it. We should reject that. We want to help people get out of the fix they're in and get on to a better life so that they can meet their potential and flourish. There will be differences in people's lives, but that's okay. That's what a free society has.
Let me ask you about the phrase takers. You once referred to those who receive benefits as takers, and you later apologized.
Yeah, I was wrong.
And it's interesting you say, because in that case you seem to be saying, be careful about the words you use. In the presidential campaign right now, that would be called political correctness.
Well, look, I think I was wrong. I mean, when you do something that is wrong, you should call it to it. People who go on government assistance, people who are on government benefits, sure, some people are going to exploit the system. Some people are choosing to just live on the dole and not work because they prefer that. That's a small percentage of it. Most people don't want to be poor. Most people don't want to be dependent. And if we speak as if everybody is in this category, that's wrong. And so that's what I did, and I was wrong to do that. And so that's why I think we need to respect people for the ambitions and the goals and the dreams that they actually have, and then help facilitate their access to it. So, yeah, I think political correctness has gone way overboard, and that's the new thing in the campaign, which I think is great. But let's just be accurate. Let's be right, and let's not have populism that's unattached from our principles.